Two people have been killed after a Mexican Navy sailing ship crashed into the underside of New York City's Brooklyn Bridge, smashing its masts and rigging.
멕시코 해군훈련함이 미국 뉴욕의 브루클린 다리와 충돌해 돛대 및 장비가 파손되고 2명의 사망자가 발생했습니다. Okay, tell us what happened.
This should have been somewhat of a celebration that turned into a disaster. Every year, the ship, the Cuauhtémoc, sets sail at the end of classes for that year at the Naval Military School for Mexico. It's sort of the end of the cadets' training. It's the last big thing, and then they're going to graduate and go on. Yeah. But tragedy struck on Saturday. The captain was maneuvering the vessel, and it was trying to get to where they would be able to pass under the structure of the bridge. However, the masts clipped the bridge and they snapped and they fell to the deck. Crew members were actually standing on the masts at the time. So the police are saying it was a mechanical malfunction, that a power cut had caused the collision, but certainly it's a big disaster, not just for the ship, but for the 2 lives lost.
Yeah.
Luckily, nobody fell into the water. All personnel were accounted for.
I think they just lost their power to maneuver this.
Yeah, so they were trying to get
ship.
to the point where they could get under the bridge and they weren't able to get there.
Yeah, obviously the masts are very high up and they sort of almost snapped in, not in two, but they were definitely at an angle by the time it had hit the bridge.
And it's, I mean, these things do happen occasionally, but it's a horrible thing for these recruits to experience and for the people on the bridge at the time.
Well, there are many ways to say that it collided into this bridge. The word used here is it crashed into the underside of the bridge.
Yeah, and when we crash into something or something crashes into something else, it hits that other thing with force and usually with speed. One good way to think of it is the word crash is onomatopoeia. It's the sound of the word crash. So if you think of that, it's not just a little hit, it's not a bump, it's actually something much more serious.
그러네요. 자, 충돌하다, crash into something, and it can be a noun as well, a crash. What about a mast?
Now, this is something you won't use in everyday language, but it's good to know if you like ships and you like sailing or you like pirates. So not a modern ferry or a cruise ship, but old sailing ships, those that have the big cloth sails, they all have masts. And these are these vertical posts that help attach the ropes to the sails so that the boat can move.
배의 돛대, mast, mast. And by the way, rigging, 그거는 이제 배에 쓰이는 rope나 쇠사슬 같은 거를 얘기해요. 그래서 앞서서 우리말로는 그냥 이제 장비라고 통칭을 해봤습니다. All right, well, here's the headline one more time. 2 people have been killed after a Mexican Navy sailing ship crashed into the underside of New York City's Brooklyn Bridge, smashing its masts and rigging.